Yo. You already know what it is. It's officially season 2, KT Radio Entertainment Business Podcast, where the people that are successful come on and teach you how to be successful. Today, you already know what it is. It's the official day to start season 2, episode 101. You know what I mean? Clap it up. You feel me? But today, we got special guest talking with Fresh, aka Brandon Williams. You feel me? He is in the building. It's an honor for everybody that tuned in for the first 100 episodes of season 1. I took a little break off, so it's an honor to get back on here, man. And make sure y'all tune in and y'all sharing this live up, bro, because it's an honor. And we're going to keep pushing. We got a lot of guests coming on this season. So keep be on the lookout. Make sure y'all saving and make sure y'all look out for the clothes. Mentality clothing coming soon. You feel me? All my special guests is in the building. Yo.
What's going on?
What's up?
Not much, man. How you doing?
I'm blessed, man. It's an honor to have you starting season 2, man. Big Ball Appreciation Day. You know how to get you on here.
Of course.
Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine, man.
Okay. Tell them what you do. Tell them where you from.
Brandon, aka Talking with Fresh. Got started with Big Baller Brand about 7 years ago. Helped him with the JBA League. Now I'm got my own sports media company. I'm getting that off the ground. Been going at it for a little bit over a year now. Ball exclusives. Do pretty much most all the major sports. NBA, NFL. College football. We're about to get started with college basketball as well as doing a little bit of the Major League Baseball playoffs right now. So just trying to become the next best thing when it comes to sports media. So it's really exciting, really nice journey I've been on here lately.
Yeah. So what made you transfer over from being an announcer over to just the coverage to the actual video with a visual part of it?
Well, before I even got with working with the JBA and Big Baller Brand and whatnot, I was already doing, sports media. It was mainly a local Alabama football publication. So I started with that back in 2015. So I've been with, doing sports media for a long time. And that was kind of one of the things that kind of helped me get noticed by, the Big Baller Brand brain trust, so to speak. But yeah, I've been at it for over 10 years, man. So this is, me finally doing something, kind of branching back on my own with it.
Is it different building with yourself?
I think I
You cut out.
lost you for a second.
No, I said, is it different building the brand by yourself?
Oh yeah, man, it's way different. The last company I was with, it was already in existence for a good 5 or 6 years, and it was more so on a print level, and they needed somebody to help them with the digital side. So that's where I came in, and we were able to grow from not having any major full-time employees. We had a bunch of interns. We was able to grow the company to having 5 to 6 full-time employees. So it was cool. It was great. It was a lot that I learned from being an owner of that company. But I wanted to branch out and build something on my own. And I've always wanted to have something sports related. Because when I first got into the media space or the online space, I had like a blog that I was doing that I was talking about all sports. But so this way, I'm kind of getting back into that, but it's more so like where we're providing the news and the updates and the information. So yeah, man, it's been cool, man. Like I said, it's just anything that you do from the ground up is like, what I'm saying, it's like building a house. It's going to take some time.
I like the way you said that, because you have to build a strong foundation, which is your work ethic and like who your team is and what your goal is going to be. Because once you start into that lane, if it has a solid foundation, it's going to crumble eventually.
Absolutely. Yeah, anytime I talk to anybody about, whether it's, growing something, like if you're doing something with sales or whatever, what I'm saying, it's still, you have to establish the foundation. You can't build the second floor of the house without, getting the foundation solidified. So that's something that's extremely important. Anytime you're trying to grow, you gotta have a strong, solid foundation, because you got a beautiful second floor, but the foundation is built on sand, is just going to cave in. So, what I'm saying, you just got to make
Exactly.
sure that you got that solid foundation.
So now let's, you say you how did you say you got on their radar? How did that even go apart? Were you even linking with Big Baller Brandon LeVar and even getting to be the commentator for the Junior Basketball Association?
No, it's a good question. So you probably remember, man, like when LeVar kind of jumped everything off in 2017, like it was like a tidal wave. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just crazy. I'd never seen nothing like where, he didn't just come out with just a little bit of a spark. He came with the whole like flood. You feel me? Like it was just crazy.
Exactly.
So, at first I was like, man, who was this loudmouth dude talking crazy, man? Like probably most people. Then I actually like kind of really heard what he was saying. Like when he was on Undisputed, I was like I'm feeling everything he's saying. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like kind of like I just kind of like jumped on everything he was talking about. I was like, yeah, I'm riding this wave because he's talking about black entrepreneurship, he's talking about ownership. We've never seen that. We've never seen somebody come into a major sport like NBA, NFL, anything like that with their own brand. It's always,
Yeah.
they come up as Nike, as Adidas, as some other type of Under Armour, some other type of platform. But you come
Exactly.
into a major sport with your own brand, it's like wow. I was like, I've never seen that. So I'm like, I'm all on my Facebook. I'm like, hey man, we need to support this. Y'all got to get behind that. And they was getting a whole bunch of just negative like press, because I mean, some of it LeVar was kind of self-inflicted. He kind of was saying some crazy stuff.
Yeah. But you gotta
But then,
understand though, when you're a system breaker, the systems go to attack you, go to fight back.
right, and that's what he was. He was a disruptor. He was a market disruptor. And we had, like I said, nobody had ever seen nothing like that. So to answer your question, he was getting a lot of negative press. And like I said, I was already kind of in the media space, and I was like, man, let me just start a website up where I don't talk nothing but positive, big baller brand content. You know what I'm saying? So I started that back in January of 2018. So he had already announced like the JBA and everything. So Melo was already out of high school. They pulled him out. All of them was overseas in Lithuania, and I was just putting all types of just positive content. And then like somehow, some way, it made its way to where LeVar was starting. He was reading my content, and
Mm.
he wasn't posting the Big Baller Brand account. They wasn't posting no. They wouldn't like retweeting nobody else's stuff except for like ESPN, Slam Magazine. It was like barely anybody. It was like maybe three or four like outlets. And then one day I published a story, and like I went and checked my analytics, just like I just randomly checked my analytics, and it was like skyrocket. I was like, man, what in the world? What's going on? I'm thank you, but I'm like, where's this coming from? You know what I'm saying? So I checked Twitter, and I seen like Big Baller Brand at the top of my notifications, and it had my story, and I was like, oh snap. And I didn't even realize until the next day that LeVar had retweeted it as well. So both of them had retweeted my my story tweet, and that's why my numbers was jumping up so crazy. So that was the first thing that got me kind of on their radar, at least from my perspective. And then so I was like I need to make sure I get in contact with them. So they had a tryout for the JBA in Atlanta, and I'm like 6 hours away. So I'm like, man, I'd already talked to Allen. You know what I'm saying? I put, AB, my guy AB, he had got linked up with them, and he told them about me. They was like, yeah, we know who he is. Shoot him my number. So I hit Allen up. He's like, yeah, I'll get back with you or whatever, and he never did. So I'm like, all right, man, I need to see these people in person. So I slid down to Atlanta for the JBA trial, and long story short, me and Allen, we chopped it up, and he was like, hey, so how you feel like you can help us? I'm like, well, I've been talking a lot of positive content. Like, I feel like I can help on the media PR side type of thing or whatnot.
Right.
He was like, yeah, I think that'd be a good look. And I was like, yeah, you come on out to lunch with us. And it just kind of went on from there, man. Like he said, let's set up a call for like the next week or whatever. We got on the phone. We talked for like 2 hours. And he was like, yeah, I think you could be, pretty like major key piece to this thing that we're trying to build. And it was like a 5-piece plan that they had. So the JBA was one piece. They had the water was a piece. They had this movies that they were trying to do. They had the rims and tires, and then the apparel. So he was breaking all this stuff down to me over the phone. He was like, "We finna get this JBA league started," and he's like, "I want you to be like an executive with this whole thing." So my role was the director of public relations or media relations, however you want to call it. So I had a pretty big, role with what I was doing, man. But like I said, to answer your question, that's how I got on their radar, and that's how it all kind of started.
Mm. So after the dinner, what happened? I'm trying to build this story. So you said that, and then I want to speak on something else that you said. A lot of people, when it comes to dealing with celebrities, they won't respond to the DM. But if you put yourself in a physical form with them and meet them in the physical, like in person, like you said, and actually put yourself out there and take that leap of faith, you might actually meet them and have conversation with them to when you hit them up next time for future business, they'd be more likely to understand who you are because they already know your name. And when they see your name, it's going to pop up as a memory of them meeting you. You feel me?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I thought you was finished. My bad. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So after the dinner, so what happened when you said you got the director of public relations. How did it even start? Like go about in the start of creating something of that magnitude? Because it had a lot of moving pieces.
Man, man, it's even hard to explain, man, because I had never done anything in PR like ever. Like, and that was the crazy part about like how they operated. I mean, it worked out for me because I was able to get put on, but they technically should have hired somebody that was really like knew what they was doing with PR, because they had me wearing like so many hats. We all wore a lot of hats, but if I'm supposed to
Yeah.
be doing PR, like that's a job in and of itself, man. Like if you're doing PR for a company, that is you are communications PR. That's all you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be finding all the positive things that you can say to highlight whatever's going on, and then you focusing on that. So my job with the JBA was, it's like, if you look at any type of like basketball team, they got some sort of media coordinator where they handle the media, make sure you got interviews set up. And so I had to make sure I had local media that was coming to our games. I had to call to get LeVar set up with interviews for the radio stations. Like I was getting all that stuff set up, and I didn't know how to do it the right way. I didn't know how to send like press releases out the correct way. Like it was a whole
Right.
bunch of stuff I had to learn. Plus, I'm announcing 2 games a night and travel, and I'm posting on social media, and I'm trying to find. I gotta get the bios for the website. I gotta find writers for the website. You know what I'm saying? So it was a whole bunch of stuff that what I'm saying, a lot of people didn't really know. Plus, like I said, all the travel and Alan, he just had us doing all types of stuff, man. It was crazy, man. Um, so to try to answer that question about like I really didn't know what I was doing. Like for the first half of that, of that journey. And I really didn't have the time. I'm just being real with you, man. Like I didn't have a lot of time to really focus on that. Like we was going to bed at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, like for that first like month, because it was like a handful of us like trying to put a whole league together. Like just think about just running a high school game. Like it's a lot of people that you got to depend on just to run a high school game. Imagine putting a whole league that got 8 teams and 80 plus players floating throughout. You know what I'm saying? Like every week. So I mean, it was really a whole lot, man. Trying to get it all promoted. You probably remember how the first part of the season, like the tickets, we wasn't getting nobody to the games. Like it was a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, man. So it was a lot.
But do you think God took you out your comfort zone to show you the hard work? You know what I mean? To push your limit.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, because it's like sometimes you don't be ready. Like, and I feel like the best example what happened to you is like with a child, right? It's like as a father, you get, especially let's say a young father as I was. I was 20 years old when I had my son, right? So you're not really ready, but you're thrown into the situation, or you throw yourself into the situation, and then you adjust. You know what I mean? You make mistakes and you slowly build your craft until it becomes natural to you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But back to what you were saying, right? You say just thrown together, put together, but that's just so powerful that you can get black men together, all together to have one common goal, and it turned out crazy for you. So after the good part of it, right? How did the major outlets respond to the JBA initially?
Initially, I think, man, there's a lot of ways I can answer that, man, because I could speak on it now because I've written a book about it and everything, but it probably
Yeah,
could have
shout the book
been.
out. Shout the book out. Let them know where to grab it real quick.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Appreciate it. So, book is the JBA League, a league of our own. It's on Amazon. So definitely, appreciate that. Y'all can check that out. You got the Kindle version or the hard copy version. Um, but in the very beginning, like I had an idea where we can get like the outlets that are online, like Baller's Life. We had Baller Visions that was popping at one time. Some other ones that was out there in like California or something like that. And Baller's Life, like, it reached out. Like, it was a guy, he worked with us. He's like, hey man, Baller's Life, my guy from Baller's Life, actually the owner of it. He's like, yeah, he wanna come out and shoot. I'm like, yeah. So like they came out to our training camp, and I told him, hey man, I'm cool with you coming out. I just don't want this to be a LaMelo Ball show. Like, I just don't like shoot. We got 8 teams. Like, shoot everybody. He's like, yeah, man. Like, I got you, man. I'm gonna shoot everybody. And he did. To his credit, man. He was real cool, man. He was great. And that video he posted it, and when I woke up, it was like almost 2 million views on it. So it was like 2 million
Mm.
because nobody had seen Melo on U.S. soil, you know what I'm saying, for like a few months because he was in Lithuania. So it was like one of the first videos that everybody had seen. So he had posted it. And then Alan hit me up like right after that. He was like, hey man. No, it was like 2 days later. I had to fly back home because my son was turning 1. I had to go to his birthday party. And he called me when I touched down. He was like, because the dude Eric, he hit me back up. He said, hey, can I come again? He said, I got another dude from Quick Hoops or one of them companies, one of them YouTube channels that had a lot of followers. And he's like, yeah, he seen the video. He want to come out there too. So we was gonna have Baller's Life that was gonna be at our training camps. Probably would have been at our games. Um, for the whole preseason that could have like gave us all types of publicity and whatnot. All those YouTubers. Anyway, so let me get back to what I was saying. So I touched down, and Alan hit me up. He's like, why is Baller's Life here at our practice? I was like, uh, he asked if he can come. I said, yeah. He's like, does the NBA let outside media or YouTubers or whatever you said come into to their practices? I was like, he was like, the answer is no. He was like, man, basically, and I said, so what we're trying to do is like, we're trying to like corner the market. He was like, yeah, we're trying to corner the market, bro. Like, we can't, like, if people want to try to get on what we're trying to do, they got to like pay and like get licensing for it. And I'm like, all right, I understand what you're saying, but we doing something brand new. Like imagine in 19 whatever whenever the NBA started, if if a major outlet had reached out to them and said, hey, we want to cover y'all for free. Like we just want to just give y'all a number of free publicity and promotion to let everybody that's interested in basketball know that there's a professional league starting. You think the NBA would have turned them down? Well, that was my rationale, but I ain't want to get kicked out, so I'm like, all right, man, whatever you say, I'm just gonna roll with it. So it was really frustrating. We could have it could have been a lot more exposure and publicity to answer your question if we would have done it in a better way. But there was a lot of skepticism because this had never happened before. So there are still people that was wondering, okay, why is he doing this? Who are these players? Never heard of a lot of these players. Is this just a thing to get Melo playing? Like what are we doing? So I think the more that they started to see better players coming to the league, we got a lot more traction later on into the season. Plus, that was when I actually kind of knew how to reach out to the media because I didn't know how to reach out to them. So that it helped in the back end where
Yeah.
we were getting local news outlets was coming
They
around.
give you time to learn your craft during the season.
Right. So, and I was going to circle back to what you said about growth. Shout out to you for stepping up at the age of 20 as a father. That's hard. But it really. I'm glad, even though it was really contentious when Alan and one of our other teammates, they really kind of called me out about why the media coverage was so terrible, and I just had to explain. I'm like, first of all, I don't know what I'm doing. I need help. Two, and I don't have the time to do it. But he was like, well, Brandon, you signed up for this. Like, it is what it is.
Exactly.
I wish we had 50 more people. We need 100 more people, to be honest. But this is what we got. You just need to
Exactly.
figure it out. He was right. As much as it sucked, he was right. I did sign up for it. I told him I could do it. It was my job to figure out how to do it. So I did, I reached out to somebody that was in LA that he went to school with me at Alabama. Shoot, I'm wearing my stuff right now, man. Roll Tide. He went to school with me in Alabama, and he was staying in LA, and he was like, call this lady that I know. She works on my team. She does PR, and she like went through like a whole like 2-hour crash course with me, showed me how to do it. She gave me a bunch of contacts. She gave me like her little media list so I can start sending press releases out. And that really helped out a lot. So I was able to get LeVar on a few more like, local stuff. So maybe not all of them came to the game, but we was able to get them with a lot more like interviews and stuff to just promote
Yeah, get the
what we
name
was
point
trying to
out
do.
there. Yeah. Where that's fire because
Hmm.
being thrown in the water be a lot of the best way to learn. Because you got you're forced to either sink or swim. No explanations. And I like how you notice even though like how they understood you, like we understand where you're coming from, but you also understand where they was coming from. Like we don't have that many people. You know what I'm saying? So and then also on your end, you said you being a man of what you signed up for. Like you did sign up for that. So it's like I gotta maximize and figure out how to do this, and it worked. That's
Right.
the crazy part about it. Like that's like the fact that it shows that you can like put energy like as hard as you really can, and the best foot forward and have positive intentions towards anything, it can come into fruition. You know what I mean? So what was the travel like? What was that like? Because you had a lot of, you said you were doing 2 games a day, so you were traveling. What was that like? The load.
And I can't even get on the plane right now without having flashbacks of it because you're talking about 2+ months of literally travel like every other day. It felt like sometimes it was back to back. Like we had probably 2 or 3 back to backs during that season. And I'd never, prior to that, I'd never traveled like that, where I'm literally in a hotel every other day. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot. It took a toll mentally, physically. Like, just to fast forward real quick, like by the time the season was over, when I got back home, like I couldn't even. It took me a long time to like decompress. Like you think like, okay, like, give me a few days. Nah, I needed like a few weeks or so, man. Like it was really hard just to kind of get back. And I had to go back to work like the next week. Like I had like 5 or 6 days where I had to go back, and that wasn't enough. Like it took me a long time to get like settled. So I could see like, people that do it constantly, like it takes its toll, especially if you end up having to take a step back. It's probably like why entertainers, when they go on tour, you know what I'm saying, like they only do it like, I don't know, like once a year maybe, I don't know. Or if they do it twice a year, they got to take a lot of time off because it takes a toll on you. But yeah, man, like I said, I think so. Doing 2 games, I'll give you a quick scenario. So our first game was June 21st in the LA area. And then our second game was the 23rd in Houston. So that was the first time, for the second one on the 24th was in Seattle. That was the first time I had to travel like that. So imagine first game I think it was 5:30 in Houston. Second game is 7:30. We got to get back to the hotel. We got to eat. Got to get back to the hotel. It's about 10:30. You're not just going to go to sleep right then. You know what I'm saying? So you got stuff that you got to do. You got to, prepare for the next day. You got to pack for the next day. And then your flight is probably, I think our flight was like red eye, like 6 o'clock. So it's crazy. We get on the plane. I think we had to go to San Diego, then to Seattle. We got to Seattle at like 3 o'clock. So we pull up to the arena at like 3 o'clock. We had no time to check into a hotel. So like, especially the girls that was with us, they were like, we can't even like shower or nothing like that. We can't even bathe or nothing like. So we was literally going to the arena like musty pretty much. So like we had to like, wash up whatever you had to do in the little. We didn't have no like locker room. Like we had to like go into the bathroom. So we all in the arena, changing in like the bathroom or whatever. Like I said, you got wash up under your arms or whatever you do, put the deodorant on, and then go right back and get ready for the next 2 games that start at 5:30. So we had like two and a half hours to get ready after we had just did it the night before. So that's the type of stuff that a lot of people don't really know that we had to endure and kind of work through. We had one team member, she had a mental breakdown that same day, and we had to send her home after that because she just couldn't handle it. But like I said, that was the type of stuff that we dealt with, excuse me. But that was part of the Big Baller Brand mantra is like, are you built for this? Like that was one thing that one of the people had to tell us, like she wasn't built for it, like, and you had to be because we was trying to do something special. We was trying to make history, and we were doing something that nobody ever did before. So you had to just kind of endure what you had to do.
So actually, now let's go into the basketball of it. Seeing Melo when he came back and Jello, what was that? What was and actually like the players? What was that even like? Because a lot of people like to downplay the competition and stuff like that. Being right there in front of them, like actually with the game, what was that like?
Man, that was my favorite part, man. So I'm an educator. You know what I'm saying? I've been teaching for over 10 years, and I've coached basketball for over 10 years as well, probably about 15 at this point. So at that point, like it was like right up my alley, like just dealing with young men and just being able to be around them, on a day-to-day basis. That was the best part because it was relationships. I'm watching them, doing something that is their craft. Is they're all hoping to be able to do this really professionally. Like whether this is a launching pad for them with the JBA. At that time, our plan was to continue to have multiple seasons. So a lot of them was hoping to continue to play with us. But it was like, even if they don't stay with us, they want to be able to go and do this and get paid for it, like whether it's NBA, overseas, or whatever. Like that's what their plans was. You know what I'm saying? So the first probably 2 weeks, I'll say the training camp, like we had to unfortunately weed some people out because the coaches and the personnel, like the executive people, they was looking at some of them and it was like, yeah, this ain't really, we ain't trying to put this product out here. So we had some guys that was probably, they was probably like on a D3, low D2 level. They was like, yeah, they're not going to make it for what we're trying to do. So we ended up bringing more players in. So we basically like cut some and brought some other ones in. And then another week goes by, bring some more players in. And then another week. So the whole season, it kind of turned into like a real deal. Like this is professional. Like you could lose your job at any given moment.
That's like how it is.
Exactly. So
That's the overseas way. And a lot of people like comfortable if people don't watch overseas basketball. The difference between the reason why a lot of them don't like how we play is because over there, if they get paid, so like it's different. Like we get contracts for 4 years and 200 million and stuff. Over there, they getting paid week by week. They either you play good and they're gonna pay you good, or you didn't play good and you're getting that trip home. You know what I mean? So that's what the professional league is like. Everything ain't so cushy. You gotta work hard and keep working and maintain your spot.
right. So I mean, you hit it on the head. So it really built a lot of hunger for a lot of those players because they see, oh, Buddy was just here, and you look to your left, and he ain't there no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yes, the competition, I say, when the first probably game or two, it was cool. You know what I'm saying? But then after like 3 or 4 games or so, we're like, all right, we got some players that came from the D1 level. Very good D2 basketball level. Not too many that was like D3 level. So the product started to get a lot better towards the second half of the season. Probably by game 4, game 5, we was getting a lot more better players. So going back to what you were asking about Melo, from game 1, man, it was you knew. I mean, if you know anything about basketball, like it's one thing to say, okay, this kid can play. It's another thing to say this kid has the potential to be, top 5 pick. And he was 16 years old, but you just see like the stuff that he was doing, like it was just different. And I used to tell people, I was like, when I was in Alabama, we had
Specific
oh, go ahead.
moment. You remember any specific play that he did that would have you like, yo, this is ridiculous.
Oh man, I'm trying to think of it. Actually, I probably can't think of a specific one, but he did something with it had to be like a pass or something like that, where NBA players and high level players, they play at a certain pace, and they're able to see things that the typical player who may just be good, but they're not on an elite level, they just can't see. And he was doing that type of stuff at 16, where you're like, this ain't normal. This ain't like a normal 16-year-old. And what I was saying was that my last 2 years when I was in Alabama, I was coaching. We had the number 1 player in the state. He was on my team. He ended up playing for University of Alabama. He played in the same backcourt as Colin Sexton. And when we had him at 16. He was good. He was really good. Don't get me wrong. He ended up playing. He played 1 year in the G League. He's playing overseas now. He wasn't like that. So I'm thinking we had a guy that was a pro. We knew he was going to be a pro at 16. This guy, Melo, at 16, we talking about like potential NBA All-Star, the way that he was looking then when I seen him up close. So, yeah, man, he was special, man. He was something, man. Yeah. I'm thinking about it, as I'm talking right now. It was really great to see him, but the biggest thing, not just even watching him play, was watching him around the other players. Because if you remember, like I said, he was just coming from Lithuania. He wasn't
Hmm.
happy over there. He ain't like being in the cold weather like that. Way across the country from his normal surroundings, and just being to see him smile, like just vibing, man, like it was great to see that. And he was just a funny, cool dude, like the silly, goofy, off the wall stuff that he say and do that you see on TV. That's exactly how he was in person. It was just no filter. Just
Okay,
he
so
was
now
great.
you mentioned family, like another like the fun part. So that made me remember. I just had a flashback. Facebook, because when I first started off with Facebook, what was that like, and what was the Ball in the Family experience?
It was cool, man. Like my first experience was when I first went to their house. They flew us all there to have like a JBA meeting. It was part of the show, and it was supposed to be like Mello and Jello's like coming home party too. So they had a lot of people. It was like food and everything there, and then they all brought us down to like the little basement area. So it's cameras literally all around. Like they it's like nonstop filming like all day long. So I don't even know when they took a break because they literally shot like it felt like 24/7. So if you were around LeVar, like you was gonna have the big microphone, the boom
Hmm.
camera and all that, like a boom mic, like right there hovering over you. A lot of the stuff didn't make the show, but they was capturing every single moment. So you kind of get a glimpse of like what the Kardashians and anybody that does that type of reality TV, like it's literally like nonstop. But I think that there wasn't a real script, but I think they had like scripted segments where it's like, all
Yeah.
right, we about to have the JVA meeting, so everybody come downstairs. But nobody gave me no lines to say, or AB or nobody else. It was just, all right, this is gonna be the segment that we put on the show. All right, here you go. We're gonna be downstairs filming. Um, and then Lavar, with how crazy he is, he just whatever you catch, you just catch, and if it makes the show, it makes the show. But a lot of it they had to cut because like Mello, he cussed like a he cussed a lot. So I think they had to like kind of rein him in a lot of times, and I think you probably got a glimpse of that when the earlier seasons on Ball in the Family. I think LeVar had to be telling, "Hey man, you can't do all that." So that's why I'm laughing because he's a funny dude, man.
He his own person. But they say people who curse a lot are usually the most honest people.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. And then also, what you do on the show, what was y'all were the first ones to do interactive commentary. Like, what was that whole idea? Like, what made y'all come up with the actual Facebook and doing it on the line where you can actually, because it was actually dope as a fan watching it, where you can actually talk to the commentators at the game in real time.
Yeah, I don't know who came up with the concept of that, but I was actually just thankful that I was even thought of to be a part of it. And I gotta, give AB a shout out for that because that wasn't my role when I first joined. The plan was for him to do it by himself, and he was telling Alan, like, well, I think it would be better to have like a partner with this. So Alan was like, well, you got anybody in mind? And AB was like, well, can Brandon do it? So he ended up
Uh,
asking me. He was like, "Hey," I asked Alan, like, "What you think?" I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I'd love to do it." So really, I owe AB a whole lot to a lot of stuff. He was the one that got me technically connected in the beginning, and then he was the one that got me to where I would really be noticed. Like there's a lot of people that was a part of the JBA that you will never hear about. You probably wouldn't even, if I said their name, you'd be like, huh? Who? But you can't not know that I'm a part of it because every game you're going to, if you don't see my face, you definitely gonna hear my voice. And that's very important to me because, you know, like I said, it's one thing to really have my hands on it. It's another thing to like it's documented and you can see it. And like you just mentioned, like if you watch the game, you was able to interact with me and AB for 2
Yeah,
hours. And
yeah.
that really means a lot.
But the thing was like the fact that nobody used Facebook for actual TV shows or actual like that was like way before its time. And
Right.
in fact, then also like how do you feel about the JBA affecting the name, image, and likeness for people that don't know the NIL?
Man, I was just talking about this just the other day, man. Like, you know, I don't know if you even know this. Like, we had Ed O'Bannon he was part of like the our panel. You know what I'm saying? Like our board of directors. And if you remember, he was the one that really springboarded the whole like NCAA basketball or whatever, like the video games. Like, hey man, like y'all can't just be putting our names and stuff on here. We're not getting no money from this. Like he started this back in I want to say like early 2000s. So to have him like he's pretty much like the face of it. He's part of the JBA as a board member, and then basically what we're doing with LeVar kind of starts it with Melo got his own shoe in high school, um, and then we're telling players, hey, if y'all want to get paid, y'all don't got to go sit in the chemistry class just to play basketball. Like you can come to straight out of high school or whatever and come play in our league and you get paid. Excuse me. Um, and like all of that tied into kind of what we're seeing now, where these players they getting crazy bags, and a lot of them don't even really be that good, which is crazy.
Exactly.
But they getting crazy bags, and a lot of it is what LeVar was trying to say. It's like, look, y'all, y'all got to go through 4 years of stuff that you don't even really want to do just to play basketball, and then you're not even getting paid for it. So I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves for a lot of stuff. The G League, Ignite, Overtime, Elite, all of these different entities, took note to what we were doing and decided it was okay um, to try it out. And
Mm,
you know, we were the ones that did it first.
exactly. But tell them where to find your book at and everything. Tell them how to find you, and it was always a blessing. Cause I want to do a part two to this. I wanted to get AB on here. He wasn't available today after last minute. But tell them what your Instagram is, and it's always an honor. Cause I save some extra stuff for part two, and I want to bring you back on.
Nah, man, I appreciate it, man. It's definitely a pleasure, definitely an honor on my end for you even think about me. Talking with
Always.
Fresh, that's my Instagram. Company's Ball Exclusives. Um, um, Instagram is Ball Exclusives. I got the NBA page. I'm working on. We just converted the main page to the NBA page, but I got a few other pages for the other sports, and then the main page you'll see that come up here soon. Twitter, Ball Exclusives. Got a Facebook page, but check the website out, ballexclusives.com. Please download the app. We got an app in the Google Play Store and the app in the App Store. Download the app, sign up for the newsletter, and just blow us up, man. Like, black owned um, sports. If you love sports, we got the news and information. Just kind of, help us grow.
Word. And make sure I tune in every week. KNTRADL on Instagram and look out for part two. And then appreciate the Big Baller brand always for opening that door. And that's why I wanted to show the appreciation because they never got the appreciation they needed because they just took their idea and went along with it. People just act like there wasn't no innovators and there wasn't people that actually had to go through humiliation workflows and bug breaking and a lot of other roadblocks and obstacles that even open that door. So we wanted to shout out Big Baller Brand, LeVar, the whole team, Yellow Mellow, Talking with Fresh, AB, even Ball Facts. You know what I'm saying? The people behind the scenes and everybody who took their time because now, like you said, you can get paid now. And if it wasn't for the JBA making that statement and doing it themselves, they would have never been forced into a position. And I say forced because it was either allow every player to go to JBA or start the bidding war and start paying the players too. But make sure y'all tuning in at KNT Radio. Look out for Mentality Clothing. And shout out. And I'm going to send you some stuff. Send me your size.
Okay.
And look out.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Work. Look out and catch us. All right.